Hello and welcome. I'm Casey Brown, assistant coach here at Boston University, and I'm excited to be sharing with you today's topic on training elite soccer players, defending. One of the most underdeveloped areas in training next level soccer players is defending, both the tactical and technical aspects of it. We see it from forwards and midfielders, even our so-called backs or defenders. No longer can we expect our next level elite soccer players to just rely solely on muscle, size, athleticism, and speed. Let's be better than that. Today we're going to focus on the nuances of first man and second man defending. Let's get started. To get started, the first grid very simply will be 15 yards long by 10 yards in width. At each corner of the grid there will be two gates, each holding sets of players. The first set of players will start with balls and pass them out across at an angle to the attacking line. That line will receive the ball and simply play 1v1 with the defending player to dribble through the following gate. Alongside the width of each grid, there'll be two neutral players on each side. They can run the width of the side, providing an extra neutral player to provide support. So the attacking player can play them as relief just to help keep possession, or choose to go straight to goal and beat the player one-on-one. The first component of the 1v1 defending aspect of the drill will be the approach. It's very important that the defending player comes out at a bent angle with great controlled footwork. What I like to tell the players is high to low, as in their body posture should start high and upright and then break down into a lower position. Additionally, with the approach, you want to make sure their steps get choppier and tighter as they approach closer to the ball, and their body is angled, forcing the play one way, and in this case, away from where the goal-scoring gate is. The next point to address after the approach is the defender's body posture. Make sure they're in a good athletic stance, side on to the direction they want to force, and that their toes and footwork are very much alive and active. Don't ever get stuck with your feet in the mud. Keep them active, keep it one way, stay patient, and contain the attacking player. Those will be some main points to get out of that initial approach and body posture. The purpose of adding the two neutral players, one on each side, is to add another variable for the defending player to think about. So just as they're working on their approach and body posture for the first-person attacker, they also need to be thinking about the two neutral players and how that adjusts their footwork, their body posture, and general spacing. The main point to emphasize with the neutral players is to be sure your defenders don't get caught ball watching. As the ball goes into the neutral player and the defender gets caught looking at them, they can easily be played backdoor and thus left extremely vulnerable. The easy solution or correction to make for your defensive player here is, as the ball is being played to the neutral player, just simply drop in and keep the attacking player in front of you, and just let them play that neutral player and keep the whole flow of play in front of you. The biggest point I try to make for young defenders in particular is having them redefine what success looks like in defending. It's not always about sticking a big tackle or getting physical and bodying in. It simply can be keeping the play in front of you and allowing time for other defenders to get back. Last point to remember is, when is the moment to step? If the attacking player takes a bad touch, sure, that can be a recognition of when to step in hard. The other cue to recognize is when the attacking player takes a negative or back touch, and that being a major cue for your players to step and press more aggressively. The next progression after one-man defending is adding a secondary defender, or two-man defending. After we establish pressure, the next principle to look at is cover. In this grid setup here of simply a 15 by 15 space, we can play 4v2 with the four yellow players with two defending players. Have the two tandem defenders work together to apply both pressure and cover. Just as the responsibility of the first defender is to establish pressure and help shape play, as in which way to force, the role of the second player now introduces cover. Cover should be played right off the shoulder of the first defender at an angle and space where they will not be vulnerable to get split central. Hopefully you saw how to take a very simple structure and provide very specific coaching points relating to defending. Remember, details matter. Lastly, be sure to not only teach and coach defending, but celebrate it, no matter what the level. Get them to see what successful defending looks like. Encourage the good, adjust the not so good, and value the process. I'm Casey Brown with Boston University, and thanks for tuning in.